Thomson Reuters has announced its expansion plans for its Middle East operations. Inside Business went to check it out. The double-digit million-dollar investment includes increased local news coverage, especially in Arabic, making the regional setup a crucial component of Thomson Reuters' global operations. Following the merger of Reuters with Thomson in 2008, the company is looking to increase its presence as a financial information and trading data provider.
Now, as Thomson Reuters, we are capable to provide more offerings to our customers, given that both firms had their offerings. In particular, in the times where banks look at cost cutting on their end, it has proven that having a strong supplier like Thomson Reuters offers us more opportunity to grow our revenues, even though the overall costs of the bank are shrinking.
To tell us more about the company's expansion plans, we're joined by Mr. Basil Moftar, the Managing Director for Middle East and Africa at Thomson Reuters. Thanks for joining us today, Basil. Now, to start off with, can you share details of your company's expansion plans?
Sure, I can. Today Thomson Reuters announced its expansion plans for the Middle East and Africa. We've now hired 104 new people for the region, bringing our total to 550 people covering this part of the world. That's quite a big expansion, and we sort of spent multi-million dollars in getting new people on board, training them, and making them part of the organization. This is going to allow us to do a better coverage both in the equities markets and in the commodities markets, and it's going to allow us to give more transparency to the region in terms of news, data, and information.
Now, of course, you've launched a number of corporate services in the region. Tell us about this.
Sure. Well, we provide a range of services. First of all, to a lot of the clients, we provide obviously real-time news and real-time information, which is one of our core strengths. But we also now offer analysis and background information about the corporates, around what's happening with them, give information around how they're making the return on investments and capital allocations and so on. But also, finally, what we're doing is we're working with corporates to also expand their transparency abroad. So we're helping them to do webcasting and different types of information services that can be used to give transparency around their business and around what's happening within their company.
Now, how has the Thomson Reuters Quarterly Investment Bank Review been received?
Yeah, our quarterly investment banking league tables, let's say, help to provide a reflection on two things. First of all, what's happening with the investment banks themselves, and how are they doing in terms of their competitiveness between them, and so on. But the other thing is it gives you a good indication of what's happening in the mergers and acquisitions and in the, let's say, equity issuance and debt issuance markets. So the league table gives you a very good let's say, filter of who's being able to issue and who's been able to raise new money, which obviously in today's market is a very important indicator of the economic activity. So we launched that last month, and we're hoping to have the next update at the end of this quarter.
And how do you react to claims that some Western-based media and news agencies don't always portray a fair view of this region?
Reuters, having been here since 1866 with its news operation, and Thomson Reuters in the last couple of years, if anything, we've increased transparency. We've been able to bring, and if you've seen Western investors coming to the region, it's because of companies like Thomson Reuters providing that information and data. It's information that is intelligent. It's information that is sort of put in a way that users and professionals can work with. So I would say our accuracy, no one has been able to say a word about the accuracy and the transparency that Thomson Reuters is able to create.
And of course, lastly, on one hand, Thomson Reuters provides corporate services, and Reuters is the news service agency. So how do you co-align the responsibilities of these two under one parent company?
Well, the two we're part of one family, but the two are run quite separately. The news organization is an independent journalistic organization. Our journalists are, the 2,700 journalists we have globally have, full rights to writing their own stories, writing it the way they see it, and writing it in the accuracy that they see. Our business, or our financial business, is really about selling that information and that alongside other real-time news and data to banks and to investors. So we keep the two things separate in order to avoid any conflicts of interest. And I think the record for 150 years plus now has been that it works quite well for us. And we obviously have the most reputable name in this industry.
Well, they're certainly keeping you busy. Mr. Basil Moftar, the Managing Director for the Middle East and Africa at Thomson Reuters, thank you for your time on Inside Business today.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this edition of Inside Business. Don't forget, you can contact us by writing to ib@city7tv.com. You can also follow what's happening on the program via Twitter. The address there is inside_business. For now, from all of us on the business desk, goodbye and thanks for watching.